Welcome to the website of the GECO project. GECO, that is Gender Equality Competencies in Business and Higher Education. What are the topics? What measures can be introduced? What are the challenges?
The world of work is changing rapidly at the moment, and organisations are facing many challenges. They have to compete in a global marketplace. There is a demand for new skills, high-level skills, especially in science, engineering and technology. There's a need to be innovative and creative. So there are lots of challenges that organisations are facing in terms of an ageing working population and a lack of skills. So one way to address this and to meet some of these challenges is to allow women to fulfil their potential and enter into the marketplace and into the labour force, and also to be allowed to contribute to the world economy. So I think at the moment many countries across Europe are taking the first steps towards implementing good gender equality practice. We want to encourage that and support that, to look at management processes, management policies, to look at how you develop your staff, how you run leadership programs for your women, and how you make your policies have a good impact on your business, so there are business benefits for you. There is lack of knowledge of how you go about it, lack of experience in the field of good gender equality practice, and there are also areas of resistance and obstacles that we need to overcome. What organisations need is some help with this. They need both internal drivers and external resources. So what this project is hoping to create is some resources for HR managers so that they will know how to go about implementing good gender equality practice in terms of how you look at your workplace, how you assess your culture, how you can identify where your challenges are, and then put in place some interventions that help you overcome these challenges. I think for us it is really important that we get senior management buy-in, that we have gender champions within the workplace that can push this work through so that we can rid our workplaces of unconscious and conscious bias and become productive in the future.
We are here to talk about gender equality in private companies' workplaces. All the managers, all the private company managers face this same problem, and the problem is that they prefer to recruit men compared to women. Women are considered to be more vulnerable, to have more needs, and to offer less to the companies. So the managers prefer to hire men instead of women. Well, all these talks, all of this money spent, all these training programs, all the research work, and still we have a problem. Well, to put it simply, this is wrong, and we have to change this wrong impression. Women are energetic, women are dynamic, women are full of ideas, and women are especially capable to offer things in these critical domains for the modern companies of creativity and innovation. And don't forget that all the projects in a modern company is team-based projects, and women are certainly better team players compared to men. And we have to change this wrong impression, not only for the women, not only for the companies, but also for the society and for the future of our children.
Improving the quality of working life, including the work-life balance, is a core element of the European Commission strategy for growth and jobs. The European Parliament as well calls for increasing employment rate both for men and women to up to 75%. And it also put attention on importance for balance between work, caring responsibility and family life. Unfortunately, until now, the family-friendly workplaces is not very widespread in Europe. That is why it's very important within this project to collect the good practices in work-life balance and to train human resource managers within the enterprises how they can improve the situation of working men and women to keep their work and not to withdraw the labor market because they could not reconcile family and work life. What kind of measures could be, for example, taking? For sure, it's flexible work arrangements, teleworking. It could have to be paid more attention on care for children, care for elderly people. It also has to be taking into account the possibility to train and retrain employers, even women who will come from the long-term staying at home because of child care or care for other dependent of person in the family. So there could be different measures taken into account. And purpose of our project here is to find a good solution, to find an innovative solution, and to try encourage human resource managers to lobby in their institution to implement these measures, and then to help the society to keep and to grow up employment rate.
When we talk about the gender dimension of the career development, we have to mention the existence of the glass ceiling, which is present all over Europe. The existence of the glass ceiling has to do with many things. One of them is gender stereotypes. The other is the fact that women in management typically do not network as much as men. Men have what is called old boys networks, whereas women in management typically don't. And then also it has to do with family responsibilities and the fact that it is mostly women who take care of the household and the children and not men.
I'm absolutely sure quality of research is dependent from different perspectives, which are included when the decision is made what kind of research should be done, what topics should be under research, and which methods should be used for that. And when you try to include different perspectives, you also should include the different perspectives of women and men. And to have enough women in research, in decision-making processes, there's a clear need to have more women in exactly that positions, and also much more women students in STEM fields. During the last 5 years, I think in all scientific fields, articles had been published showing that gender is a topic in more or less each scientific field. And this again shows the importance to increase the amount of women in research and in decision-making positions. The first voice recognition systems didn't accept female voices, and I think this is a result of bad constructed research. When women aren't included as later on consumers of such systems, I think this is really a waste of time and money.
The heart of every company is the organization culture. What do we mean with organization culture? It reflects the attitudes and the values of every company. The employees accept them and live them. Therefore, it's so important that the leader of a company is going to be a role model for the employees to set an example. Sometimes companies think that gender equality is already a part of their organization culture. But on closer observation, you find out this isn't the case. Let me present a very short checklist for companies to evaluate if gender equality is already a part of their company. Which of the following apply to your company? It's taken for granted that women are in leadership positions. Gender equality is often talked about. Positions are filled transparently, irrespective of gender, and based on performance. Human resources development measures are directed to all, and gender equality payment is enforced to both men and women. If any of these points of the checklist have made you think about your own organizational culture, follow the project GECO.